Lost my mind, now I'm feeling so fine, cause I finally realized I don't need you. I'm feeling sublime, and you're watching me shine, and you realize it's time I don't need you. Now
So how's it going, Imani?
It is going great. We've got 70-degree weather in AZ, and so it's still daylight here, and it's nighttime almost everywhere else. So it feels good.
Definitely dark here. We had a wonderful day though. It was like 65 degrees, so that was awesome. I worked on my porch today. I'm very excited. You know, that's my. I might record one night on my porch. No, it'll be too noisy out there, but I love my porch.
And it's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. So last week we spoke about reflecting on last year since we are restarting and re-recording, restarting the recording of our podcast in 2022. We started in 2021, but stopped. But now we are going. We're live. We're live, available on Spotify and YouTube. And we just wanted to talk about, we reflected on how last year went. So we hope you all reflected on how last year went, and what you can change and things like that. How did adding your task last week go, Imani?
Adding a task.
You said you were going to add exercise.
About that, I thought about exercise a lot. I even got invites to the gym, and I don't know what happened. I know what happened. I think this week is going to be my week. Last week had a lot of just really crazy life things happening that we spoke about. So I needed to deal with everything that was going on last week. But I think this week is going to be my week. And I love what we talked about last time, which was movement. So not stressing myself out saying it has to be the gym or it has to be, 5 hours long to really count. So I'm going to try to tie it into my bedtime routine and create that schedule like we talked about, where if it's more of a lifestyle as opposed to like a spur of the moment idea, hopefully I'll have greater success because it's just routine.
I mean, well, my task was adding gym into my everyday schedule more than my 2-day schedule. And it wasn't even adding the gym. It was having a firm 20 minutes. Like I'll get up and I'll do my 5 to 10 minutes. That gets done every day. But I want to have a full firm 20 minutes every morning. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. I mean, I can't. Today's Thursday. We usually record on Wednesdays. And I didn't even work out with my gym partner this week. Because we both had things like appointments and stuff like that going on. So I mean, life always happens. Still do something. I did get out today. It was a lovely day. So I got out today, got outside, walked around, things like that. But yeah, just the commitment or the focus or the desire, even the desire just to want to do it, you're getting halfway there. So, I mean, this week we're going to do better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And not sorry to interrupt you. The last thing I was just going to say was in response to what you said about the desire. I think the best piece of advice that I haven't implemented yet is that like discipline says, I'm going to do this, and if desire needs to sit and wait at home, it can, but I'm going to just move, and like the rest of me, my heart and mind and spirit, everything else will catch up with my movement in that direction. And so that goes with like decisions that you make where you know that they're hard and maybe your heart's not all there, but you know it's the right thing. You end up like your emotions end up catching up with your resolve to handle that task. So that's going to be kind of my focus in trying to get myself to go, is that it's not, do I want to, is it convenient, all that stuff, but just trusting the process. And I think we've both experienced it, where you are in a routine with working out and it feels great and you love it. But it's just about like getting back into that. So hopefully we can share a story next week about how just out of discipline and commitment to the end goal, we just kind of go with it. And I like what you said about doing what you can.
Well, I'm happy that you brought up the word discipline, because that is our topic for this week. Discipline. And before we get there, but we're on our way there. What was your word for 2022? So we discussed adding one task, and then we also discussed our word. Well, we didn't discuss our word. We said we would discuss our word for 2022. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You can go first. I'll take a swig here.
My word this year is commitment. And commitment is right along with discipline. So last year my word was finish. I had the intention to finish a lot of the things that I started working on down in Charlotte, North Carolina. I started really kind of creating my brand and creating different businesses that I wanted to open. I wrote a lot of bylaws. I wrote books. I did all kinds of things, and I left a lot of those things on the back burner over the last couple of years. So my word for last year was to finish them. They did not get finished, but there were things that that were keeping me not focused, not committed, and not disciplined. And those things were all finished in 2021. So I entered the year with a newfound, first of all, just motivation, dedication, focus, and commitment to getting what I want to get done for my brand. And commitment is a big part of it. So my word for this year is commitment. And everything I want to do, I want to be fully committed. I want to be fully focused, and I want to go full force, not half force, not halfway. I want to be fully in it. In one of the other episodes, we talked about if it's not your priority, it does not happen. So my priority this year is commitment to the things that I want to get done and finish in my life. Period. That's what my goal is going to be for the year. So what is your word, Imani?
So I'd say my word is probably just yes, and that's just because my life word is normally no. No, I can't do that because of A, B, C, and D. No, I can't go there because of A, B, C, and D. And sometimes I think what applies in a particular situation is so easy to just apply from that point forward. So you find yourself, in my case, saying no because my kids were infants. Well, now they are, starting elementary school, and I'm still saying no. And when asked why, I don't know the answer to that. It's just I'm used to it. So my goal is to just start saying yes. Yes, I'm qualified. Yes, I can accomplish what I would like to do. And yes, to just more adventurous. Yes, to just more adventurous decisions that take me out of my comfort zone. I don't think I've ever just lived a life of yes. It's always been, well, we'll see, or I'm not sure. I'm always trying to take care of things. But I believe I have more power and more ability to see things through than I give myself credit for. And I think that's why I said no so often. So me saying yes is me saying to myself that I trust myself to figure it out as I go, to ask help where I need it. And, you know, as we all know, God is not going anywhere. So if I fall, I'll be held up by him. Amen. But, but you know, like, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, we have to step out on faith. Like, there's no way around it. We have to step out on faith. If we don't step out on faith, what are we doing? You know, faith is the evidence of things hoped for and things not seen. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we have to step out on faith, and sometimes it is saying yes to something that you might not, you know what I mean? But it's not out of, it's reducing the fear aspect. So that's, I like that. So our topic this week is discipline. Our topic this week is discipline because we started recording this podcast last year. And within recording our podcast last year, things happened. I had one of my elderly family members come stay with me, and they were in the living room. So my living room is where I record at. I could have tried to record in my room and things like that, but I couldn't put my finger on it. You know what I mean? So it was just a lot of things that kind of threw a wedge in it. But what I realized is, if I had the discipline to push through no matter what, this would have been going last year, and we would have pushed through and we would have worked it out. So this year, discipline. I want to be intentionally disciplined and committed. Once again, commitment to the things that I have going on, because I have to make sure that I don't let things fall to the wayside. You know, when we're coming out the valley and we get so used, like while we're in the valley, we get so used to being like, later, I'll get back to that. We don't have to do that today. And at the end of the day, you're just pushing things to the next day. For what? And we're still aging daily. I will be 40 this year. Not this year, but next year. I'm still getting old. So I can keep pushing things to the wayside, but next thing I know, I'm going to have my retirement age. And I do have an age that I want to retire at, and it is not 65. Do not plan on working to 65 at all. Like, being disciplined makes sure that we stay on task. And I want to really make sure that I'm being intentional. In episode 2, we spoke about tools that we use, like planners and things like that. And the tools that we use, if we're not disciplined or committed to getting those tools or using those tools on a daily basis, then what good are they? I have 3 books by my bed right now. One is a expectancy journal. It has prayers, daily prayers, and I have a meditation book, or a meditation thing that I'm listening to, and then I have a prayer journal. And I probably will end up with a budget planner or some type of planner there as well too. We'll see. But not only am I going to be disciplined and intentional about being disciplined, I'm also making sure that they are right there. They're right there for me to use. They're right there to be accessible. They're right there for me to pick up every morning or every night before I go to sleep or before I start my day. So discipline, to me, has heightened my intentions. Okay. Part of me revamping myself was getting out of an unhealthy relationship. I've been out of that relationship now for 6 months. So this week was Valentine's Day. I've been out of that relationship since September. Had some other things going on and really started like truly focusing in on myself and focusing in on my journey in, like, I'll say, like, November. Um Part of me of my reflection was spending some time with my father. I needed to spend time with him. I hadn't spent time with him in probably over 10 years, even longer than that. Because honestly, I haven't gone to see him since my son was 1. So 18 years. Okay. And he hasn't come to see me either. So like that intentional time of us spending each other, like I needed that. You know what I mean? And that was also a part of things that I needed to deal with or heal from and things like that. So that way I can push forward. So right this year, not only is commitment, it's also discipline. They're hand in hand with me. A lot of times we have intentions, but we put our intentions to the wayside. How are your intentions going for the year, Imani?
Intention number one is to be intentional with being intentional. No, well, I think going back to our comfort zone, there are things that we are intentional about and consistent with, like, when we get up, our morning routine to get ready and to go to work, and kid drop off and kid pick up, and conversations with friends. I think that there are things that we are intentional about, and so I find that for me, I am intentional about my regular schedule, but when it comes to incorporating things that are more challenging or uncomfortable or otherwise new, those are the ones where I'm like, like, those are harder. Those are harder, but in the same way that I schedule meetings for work, I need to schedule meetings for myself. In the same way that I schedule budget meetings with myself to go over my finances, things like that, I need to have the same discipline with other things that I love to do. And I believe I said a lot of this last year, and I think I'm just in that place where a lot of the lessons I learn are repetitive, and I think that's all right. But one of the lessons that I learned is normally the area that I lack intentionality in is an area where I might feel unqualified or just afraid of the results. It's like you're afraid to be seen or identified by others in a way that says you're awesome or in a way that says you're big, you matter, you're making a huge impact on the world. And so I think that I need to do better with leaning into accomplishing things that are scary. And I think as I do that, it'll help me to become more intentional. Yeah, so I think that's just where I'm at. Just kind of identifying those things, and when you can call yourself out, then you can really start moving forward. So that's what I'm doing right now.
And usually the scary things are the place, like those are the places where we lose our discipline, where we lose our focus. Those are the places where fear starts to kick in, and things like that. So I mean, you're in the same boat as 99% of us. You know what I mean? Like, because most people don't have that mindset where things don't stop them. I mean, we would all love to have it, but a lot of times things stop us. Things happen and it stops us. It paralyzes us temporarily until we deal with it. Um, as a mom, we juggle. I'm an empty nester, so I'm not juggling as much anymore. But as a mom, we juggle. So it's even more challenging to stay disciplined towards, that side hustle or that side gig or the side business that you're trying to build while you're working, taking care of your children, making sure they got some other kind of activities going on, making sure you do give them a little bit of education at home, not just at school, making sure they eat a healthy meal, making sure they wash properly, making sure they get to bed on time, maybe read before they get to bed. You know what I mean? So like you're juggling multiple hats. Never mind you're taking care of a household at the same time, paying bills, cooking, cleaning. You know what I mean? Making sure like we have so many different things going on at one time. Like it's hard to stay on track. And honestly, like sometimes I look at myself now and I'm like, girl, I don't know how you did it. I don't know. But I do remember nights that I was up doing people's taxes till midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to get up and go to work at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So never mind probably wake up, might wake up in the middle of the night from a crying child because they want a bottle or a diaper change or whatever. You know what I mean? So even staying progressive in business, while wearing multiple hats is a challenge for both of us. Now, I'm a little bit on the other side at this point, and you're more actually in it because your children are young. Yeah, you're gonna say you are in the thick of it. Because your children are young. My children are a little older, and Aiden is not here full time. You know what I mean? So he's half and half time. So I don't have him all the time. And Niger's in college, so he's away. So my life is a little bit more peaceful now. But I do think about the days that it was not. I was trying to run the soccer practice. I was trying to run the karate. Still trying to do taxes on the side or write a book or whatever, and sometimes I look at it like I don't even know how I was there. And I keep trying to tell, like, I think I've told you this before, like I'm getting back to my Charlotte mindset, my pre-mindset, but girl, I don't know if I'll ever be. That was a bad girl, honey. I mean, just thinking of all the things that I was able to do and establish, during that time, was amazing because I had a whole lot of other things going on. I had challenges with Aiden in school, I had a lot of different things going on. There was a lot of times that when I did start working from home, Aiden was sitting there with me and I had to print him out some work because you're not even supposed to be home. So guess what? You're going to be sitting here working just like me because you're not going to distract me, right. But I still had to be a mom and get the job done at the same time. So, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. How do you stay progressive in business while wearing multiple hats?
Let's see. Progressive in business while wearing multiple hats. I say an answer that I give often is like what you immerse yourself in is what you exude. And so for me, I make sure that every aspect of my life is just attached to people or things that help me to grow and inspire me and push me. So if it's social media or if it's friendships or family conversations, it is all in a very closely, intentionally cultivated community. And I think that makes a big difference. So whether I'm super motivated or not motivated at all I'm seeing and consuming are things that motivate and further push me. So I think that that has been really helpful for me. And funny enough, one of the other things that really pushed me is doing the things that I do for business for fun. I find that that helps a lot. Of course, it depends on what you're doing for your business, but I find for me just saying I'm going to do this just to be creative and just to have fun with it, or just to explore a topic or an idea I've been thinking about, is something that's been really helpful for me.
I wholeheartedly agree. That's one thing I can say. Charlotte versus New Jersey. New Jersey is home for me. This is where I grew up at. Charlotte, I really kind have I kind of was able to, like, my communication with my friends, it was multifaceted. It wasn't only for just a friendship purpose. It was like the way me and you speak. We build each other. We talk about our businesses. We talk about things that we can do, plans that we can use, tools that we can use to help advance ourselves. We might ping ideas back and forth to help. And honestly, when it's like that, it's amazing. Like, it is honestly amazing. Me and you had a conversation before I moved back to New Jersey. And you asked me why didn't I want to move back to New Jersey? And I told you I was going to go through a very deep depression. And it was the fact that I knew that my environment was going to change from something that I created to be very progressive, very positive, back to the environment that I grew up in, that was necessarily not that by far. And here we are. I've been back for 3 years. This is the 4th year. And I'm just getting to the point where I can say, okay, I love you, but from a distance. I need this around me. I need this in my surroundings for me to have progress. And at this point, I don't feel bad. At first, I felt bad. I did. I honestly felt bad. But one of my favorite sayings, everything is not for everybody. And that is in life. That is in the things that you do. Everything is not for everybody. All my business is not to be shared with everybody. All the things that I work on is not to be shared with everybody. Everybody isn't going to encourage you in your business. So why would you share it with people that are not going to encourage you? You're only hurting yourself, you know? So that's has always been one of my sayings. And I teach my children that too. Everything is not for everybody. You don't have to broadcast everything. You don't have to share everything. And you, like, your friends don't have to be your friends for everything. They can be your friends for that specific purpose. And then when you're over here focused on business and you need to focus on business, then you need to be surrounded with some business people. You know what I mean? Some good business people that are going to help you in that business or in that area, that might be financial advisors with you, so you all can help build each other. They might be accountants with you. Imani, you're an editor, so they might be fellow editors where you all can help each other, or you all might even run business back and forth. Hey, Imani, I know you can edit and I can edit, but you know what? Can you help me out? You know what I mean? Those things matter. I don't have to be with the friends that just want to do crap all day, every day, because guess what? I don't want to do crap all day, every day. I have dreams that I want to fulfill, and I have intentions that I want to, that places that I want to go. So, it's okay. You don't have to be on the same path as me. I still love you, but we're not going to hang every day. We're not going to hang every day. You're not going to drag me down. You're not going to adjust my schedule because I'm steady doing non-progressive things. it's great. We should all do some non-progressive things, at least an hour or two of the day. That thoughtless thing. Watch that show that you can just laugh at and you don't have to think about life. You have to unwind. Trust, I am the burnout queen, but you have to unwind. So you have to have those unwind friends. But that is not what you dwell in all day, every day.
God got me, plant his seeds, let me breathe, cause I need him. Stay faithful, not hateful, I'm playful, cause he got me. He called me his angel, I'm flying to heaven. Just know that he sent me from heaven to flex you.